What's going on, everybody? Just got finished with a run at the park. I just kind of wanted to talk about my mentality in today's workout. It's Friday. I'm already sore from the gym, hitting the weights this week, so I was like, man, I got to get something in on Friday because I'm going to be out of town this weekend, and I probably won't have an opportunity to get my workouts in or walks and stuff over the weekend. So my strategy today was, I'm going to go for a run or a jog at the track. And I just went ahead and set the milestone or the goal of 600 calories to burn. And I was gonna do it in any way possible. So whether it was walking the whole time, whether it was jogging, whether it was jogging and walking. And that brought me to talk about a strategy that I use to just kind of make things a little bit less monotonous, and also a good way to kind of build up your running if you're wanting to get back into running, which is something I'm trying to get back into. Hadn't really run too much since I used to do boxing, and so I'm trying to get back into that. And so a good strategy is a interval timing. So I love interval timings. It's a good way to just kind of take your mind off of, the monotony of the running, and you're kind of fluctuating between on and off running. So basically I said, okay, well, I'm gonna set a timer, 30 seconds on, 30-second walk. So I'm 30 seconds jogging, 30 seconds walking, and basically just doing that nonstop, back to back to back to back to back. It was a great way to kind of keep my cardio high enough, but at the same time not peaked as if I was like running nonstop. And those rests were perfect enough where by the time I had to go run the next 30 seconds, it wasn't as bad. And over time, it just kind of built up, got a little bit more challenging. And my goal was just to do 30-30 for 1 mile. That's it. I've been trying to see if I can do running just 1 mile every day, or running a mile as often as possible during the week. This ended up turning into just under 4 miles. So that is also another strategy with this, is that sometimes just focusing on this timing sequence. If you find a timing sequence that is, I don't want to say comfortable, but just challenging enough where it keeps you going, you'll surprise yourself with the distances and also maybe the times that you do as well. So think about that. Try incorporating that into your workout or your next run, even if you're just starting out. Do something like 20 and 20. Light jog for 20 seconds, walk for 20. Then slowly bring it up. 30-second jog, 10-second break. 30-second jog, 20-second break. 40 seconds on, 20-second break. And slowly kind of mess around with these timing sequences and making sure that it is making you sweat, that you're feeling the workout, that it doesn't feel super easy and not super comfortable, but at the same time it's manageable enough where you can kind of continue to keep going. And let me know if you try it and how you surprise yourself. It is a great tactic, a great strategy. What's the other point I was going to make? So that is also a great way for people that are wanting to, again, I'm gonna speak out more towards like the novice. If you're an advanced runner, this might not even apply to you. Maybe it does. Maybe you can do sprints with it. But if you're a novice runner and you're just building up your running, this is a strategy that I would recommend, is set a timing interval, just like I spoke about, 30 seconds on, 30-second break, and shoot for that 1 mile. Collect the time for that mile. Keep doing the 30-30 until you keep improving the timing on that mile. And then take a day out of the week, or maybe a day out of every 2 weeks, and that's going to be basically like your fit test. And what I want you to do is, after you've been doing that 30-30 for a while, is to shoot for that 1 mile straight off. Even if you don't make that first mile without stopping, and that's the thing, I want you to try to go for that mile without stopping. If you can't do that full mile without stopping, gauge how far you went that first time, go back to your 30-30 training for about 2 weeks, and then revisit that and shoot for that mile again. I promise you, if you stay consistent with that and you make sure that you're eating well and you recover and you're getting plenty of rest, that you will hit that full mile mark. And I want that to be a milestone for you. And then you just continue to build from there. But anyway, guys, that's just my tip for today. Appreciate you. You guys have a wonderful weekend. This is always to your health, to your growth, wealth. Coach Ivan signing out, and have a wonderful weekend. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Oh, hey guys. So another last tip. So today's goal, as I had mentioned, was calories. I wanted to shoot for a calorie burning goal. And like I said, just going with that timing sequence that I had, just went to about like 3.7 something miles in burning 600 calories. But what I wanted to talk about is different goals to shoot for, and you can change it up as you want to. Typically some people are more about distance. If you have a tracking device like a smartwatch, or it's connected to your phone, or you're using Strava, or I think it's Relive, that you can track distance, you can track your pace, you can try tracking your heart rate. Steps is another good one. So for example, today I could just said, you know what, I'm gonna walk this track until I get 10,000 steps for my day. But yeah, so change up your objectives. Try not to do it too often, because you do it's good to work with some benchmarks and baselines to check your improvement. But sometimes, you know, you might work on how I just said, where you do your intervals, focusing on a distance for some time. Maybe you're shooting to do your first 5K. And then maybe switch it up to say, you know what, I'm gonna try to see if I can get this many steps per day, or I'm gonna shoot to see how many calories I can burn in 45 minutes with a jogging and running interval. But anyway, play around with that, guys, and I hope that's helpful. Talk to you soon. Bye.